Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome, Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well, so you'll be following Shawn and Maya along with Sports Zone Chicago. Now, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent! And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. But also do me a favor, click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, wait, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. You should know by now. Come on, look. Here, peep this. So go there. All right, we have our own mobile app. So you download our app. So wherever you get your apps from, you go there. And it doesn't matter where you get them from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, Weebolts, Goldblatts. Doesn't matter. All right, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, take it with you on a go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, well, 1 day a week for live shows until July 24th. All right. Not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles. Thanks to my man Clarence, Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Well, let me get this out of the way first. Let's move this one. There we go. We got to get rid of that one. If you're watching this, baby, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, if you don't know, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. Put it there, put it right there next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney Plus, Max, Stars, Paramount Plus. Put it right there, right next to all of them. And watch us on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen right, Mickey, Vicky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZoneShy, that's CHI, at SportsZoneShy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Now, what is this all about? A lot of craziness going on here. All right. Now, if you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IG, you're going to do it just for the grams. Just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Man, we got a good show for you. And I miss it. Man, it feels so good to talk to you guys again. I miss you. I miss you. Man, it feels great to talk to you again. Uh-oh. There you go. We got a good show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, our mobile app, or Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app. Yeah, listen, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up on the thread. We'll incorporate it. I'll put it up on the screen and we'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because you know over here ain't nobody scared. Over here. Like The Rock said, don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. My fat gout hand. That's all right. That's a whole nother story. For people that know, they know. Let's see what we got. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What up, Cornelius? My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. Yes, happy Juneteenth, baby. Happy Juneteenth. I thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Mr. Shorty is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Happy Juneteenth, Mr. Shorty. Jay Grizz up in this Mickey Ficky. Hell yeah. My man Michelle Walls in the house. Southside, stand up. You know, baby. Southside, born and bred, baby. Southside, right here. Ain't no, man, I will always rep the Southside. Southside till I die. You know how that is. Michelle, thank you for tuning in. I love it. Levette Lee, good morning, Ma. Thank you. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. I love it. Man, listen, I don't know a lot about a lot. Well, thank you, Shorty. Miss you. It's good as you taking some time off. Man, ain't that the truth? Tell me, absence makes the heart grow fonder of people. It does. It truly, truly does. And I'm appreciative of all the support that my people give me, and I really, really enjoy talking sports to you. I really do. So we got a good show for you. At the bottom of the hour, Mark Gonzalez, Chicago baseball writer, is going to join us. We got a little baseball to talk. We have the Chicago doubleheader today, the Red Line special. I like it. I like it. Who's down for it today? Who's down for it? The Cubs play at 1, Sox play at 7. You know, you hang up in Wrigleyville for a little bit. You know, have a few pops, throw them back, throw a couple back, then hop the Red Line right outside. You know, Murphy's Bleachers. And head south. I've always wanted to do that. Just never have. I think I'm gonna have to do that soon. Maybe this year. But if not this year, I will put it on my bucket list. And you guys got to remind me. You got to remind me. Chicago baseball doubleheader. Yeah. So, bottom of the hour, Mark Gonzalez is going to join us. We're going to talk this baseball thing. It's not pretty. It's not pretty in Chicago. And you know what? It's more frustrating than anything. You know, see, I got to get my paper. Angel Reese. We got some Sky to talk. Okay. We have some very little Bears to talk. All right. Right now, everything is just chill. It's not everything's on. It's marinating. All right. There's nothing going on right now. So, but we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bears. Okay. Oh, snap! King Book of World is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Happy Juneteenth Day to you as well, sir. And see, for those people who don't know what Juneteenth is, just real quick, you know, back in the day, during slavery, okay, when slavery was abolished, you know, they didn't go put it on the internet and say, "Hey, you guys are free." All right, I don't know why they didn't do it. Would have made it much easier. But they didn't do it. Okay. Well, what happened was, not a lot of slaves knew that they were free. All right. Not a lot of people, not a lot of trust me, you think the owners would tell them, "Hey, you're free to leave?" Not hardly. It is the day, excuse me, it's the day where down in you see on a shirt, June 9th. Oh, you can't. Oh, that's ugly. Down in Galveston was the last of the slaves were freed. All right, people had to go around and tell people that the slaves were free. And that was a day that they marked, and it was, it's the Emancipation Day for African Americans. It actually happened a couple of years after. People, again, they just didn't put it on the internet, and it was unfortunate that it took so long to travel, but the word did. And as I said, in Galveston was when the last of the slaves were notified that they were free. So, not to get political, not to get anything, because just know that 4th of July, the celebration of American holidays, American Independence Day, had nothing to do with Black people. Okay, they were still considered 3/5 of a man. So this is kind of to find the emancipation for Black people, and you know what? It's one of the darker sides of our history, obviously, but it's our history, but it's American history, and it is a something people need to understand and respect. Period. End of story. Nothing more, nothing less. You understand it, you respect it. All right, and that's all we can really ask. But listen, we don't have much time today, baby. We don't got much time. We got Bob. I'm Bob. I do have to get Bob on, Bob Nightingale. We have Mark Gonzalez on at the bottom of the hour. So let's get right to it, baby. You know how we do. You know how we do. What did I say? Fool. You know how we do it. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yes, baby. Let's go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Uh-oh. Here we go. I know where we're starting. All right, so don't give me any. Never mind. The White Sox. Yeah, baby, baby. The White Sox beat the Houston Astros yesterday 2-0. Oh, see, Steve-O, you dirty dog. You didn't even put win on there. Beat the Houston Astros yesterday 2-0 on the South Side. Let me tell you something. Man, what a performance. Woo, Charlie. What a performance. This staff that the White Sox have it looks good. It looks really good. I'm a big fan of it. Jonathan Cannon yesterday, he got the start. He got the win. He's 1-1. He went 8 2/3. 8 2/3. Woo! 7 hits, of shutout baseball. 1 walk, 4 punch-outs. Andrew Vaughn was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs, driving in his 32nd and 33rd RBIs of the season. And Danny Mendick was 1 for 2 on the afternoon. But let me tell you, when you go 8 2/3, to me that was dope. That was 8 2/3 with 106 pitches. All right, 106 pitches. And then John Brebbia came in for the save. He only threw 5 pitches. But these youngsters that in the Sox rotation have a lot of promise. All right, I'm not putting them in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown or anything like that, so relax. But they have a lot of promise. It's one of the good bright spots of this horrible, horrible, horrible season. And you know what? The White Sox, again, tonight they host the Astros. First pitch is at 7:10. Hunter Brown's on the bump for Houston. He's 3-5 with a 5.0 ERA. He's going up against Garrett Crochet, who's 6-5 with a 3.16 ERA. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to it on the flagship station, AM 1000. Speaking of the Astros, the other day, yesterday was it? The Astros released former White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu. He still owed $36 million on his deal. All right. Could a reunion be in store? I don't think so. I think they're happy with Vaughn over there, but people are going to want to put them together just because people want to do that. What are you talking about? Mashan, yes, sirree. The Trash Throws. Plank is in the house. Good morning, Plank. Thanks for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. Good to see you too, man. I believe you me. I miss it. I miss you guys. King Book of World, you're on fire. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. The next top of the morning topics, the Cubs. The Cubs beat the San Francisco Giants yesterday 5-2 over at Wrigley. Justin Steele started the game with a no decision. He went 6 2/3 with 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 punch-outs. Cody Bellinger was 2 for 3 with an RBI, his 33rd of the season. Ian Happ was 2 for 4, driving in his 36th and 37th runs of the season. Dansby Swanson was 1 for 4, hitting his 7th homer of the season, driving in his 20th and 21st ribbies of the year. And the Cubs will host the San Francisco Giants again today. First pitch is at 1:20. Okay. And this is where we talked about 1:20. No name yet on who's starting for the Giants, who's on the bump for the Giants. But Kyle Hendricks, the professor, with a rough 0-4 and 8.20 ERA, is on the bump for the Northsiders. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network, or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. So today, where'd you go? Today's one of those special days. All right, one of those special days where you have Chicago Red Line doubleheader. I love it. If you're a true baseball fan, this is something I need to do it. I don't know about you. I need to do it. I need to be more aware and cognizant and make sure I get my ducks in a row. And you know what? What really stinks is that they're both bad. See, so I lost a lot of interest. Like, my White Sox suck. Bump the Cubs. So I really didn't care to look for this. Now, had they been good, or at least my White Sox been good, then you're like, oh, okay, let me see. But it's something that you should do as a Chicago baseball fan, whether a fan of the North Side or the South Side. Don't say to me, I'm a fan of both. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Either way, I think it's a pretty cool deal. Now, the biggest issue with this, so let's get it straight. The Cubs are at 120. Now, mind you, the advent of the pitch clock really kind of screws this up, can really screw it up. Because games are going about 2.5 hours. So you say 120, 1:30. All right? 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Game's over at 4. Next game doesn't start for 3.5 hours. Okay? So to take you an hour on the train, just hop the red line right off of Sheffield. Okay? So, but what do? You just take the train south? Because not a lot of bars. I mean, you can go to Turtles, you can go to Cork and Kerry at the park. You can do that. But you know it's going to be full of Sox fans who didn't go to Wrigley, but are going to the game tonight. So what do? You just stay down in Wrigleyville. Well, just be careful. Just be careful if you decide to do that. All right, so say the game gets over at, 4? I stay down until 5:30. Then you can, take the train. Now, there's a crazy part. Make sure you're careful on the train. That red line, do not fall asleep on that red line. That rocking back like this, when you're not riding on that train, has made many a person fall asleep, myself included, many a time. Don't get in such a deep sleep, alcohol-infused deep sleep, that you miss 35th Street. You end up at the end of the line on 95th. Because that has happened to people. Not me, but that has happened to plenty of people in their quest for the doubleheader. Some unsavory characters at the end of that line on 95th. They get a little crazy in that red line. Actually, on both sides of it, both extremes, on the south side and on the north side, the red line gets a little wild. So make sure you're with a couple people and or I would suggest if you have a phone, you set your alarm. Set it for like 45 minutes. All right, 40 minutes. Just all right, put it in your pocket. Don't hold it out, but put it in your pocket or have it vibrate and sound off some crazy things. So when it goes off, you're like, oh, snap. You don't want to miss your 35th Street exit going south. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Oh, goodness. That was hilarious. Next time, we want to topic the Sky. Host the Dallas Wings tomorrow night at Wintrust Arena. Tip-off is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network. It's early. Woo. Early. Sky making a mark. Not as much as they'd like, but they're helping bring in some numbers. All right, they're helping bring in some numbers. They're going through a thing right now. They're trying of winning, nothing more, nothing less. They lost to the Indiana Fever the other day, 91-83. All right, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. All right, that was the whole thing where Angel Reese went to block the ball, hit Caitlin Clark from behind, hit Caitlin Clark in the head. They gave her a flagrant and all the craziness. Come on. But let me tell you something. That was the most ever watched WNBA game in 23 years. 23 years. So you can sit there and talk about all the nonsense that you want, and they're not doing Kaylin this, doing that. She should have been here. They're putting eyes in front of the TV screen. Are they capped off around $3 million at some particular point? Unfreaking believable. I love the fact that this game is growing before our eyes, literally and figuratively. I love the rivalry that they've created. You need it. You need something like that. The bad blood that the media has created, that maybe WNBA has created behind the scenes. I don't care. I love it. Because getting people in front of these top-notch, first-class athletes who need to be seen. And I'm all for it. I told you, I bought the WNBA pass over a month ago to support my girls. I got to go get a T-shirt. I got to do the whole 9. But do your part, because you know what? There's some phenomenal athletes in the WNBA. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but just before the break, the next top of the morning topic, Say Hey Kid himself, Willie Mays, passed away yesterday at the age of 93. Wow. Probably one of his most famous moments is the catch that he made over the shoulder, game 1 of the 1954 World Series against Cleveland. Vic Wertz hits a deep drive to center in the 8th inning of a 2-2 tie, and he's running back to home plate, and bam! You guys are familiar. Most of you are familiar with that play. There's runners on first and second, and in an interview, Willie said, I wasn't thinking about the catch. He goes, I was thinking because he figured he'd make it. He goes, but I couldn't let it drop because then the runner from second would easily score. He said, and the runner on first would easily score. He goes, I was thinking about of getting this ball back in. So if you watch the video, when he catches, as soon as he catches it, he takes like 2 steps and fires the ball back in, twists and falls, just to get the ball back in because he knew there was runners on first and second in a 2-2 tie in the 8th inning. So in game 1 of the World Series. So phenomenal catch. It's one of the most iconic catches and pictures. I mean, this is just amazing. So thoughts and prayers and everyone in Chicago go out to the family of Willie Mays to say, hey, kid, man, it's a good run. 93 years. Wow. Anything over 80, 85, man, people, you've been blessed. You've been blessed. And you know what? He blessed the baseball world for a long time with his skills and his talents. And, you will definitely be missed to say, hey, kid. All right, listen, let's take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, my man Mark Gonzalez is ready to join us. We're going to talk a little baseball. At least they both won yesterday. Shocker. And see if he's doing the red line doubleheader today. See if he's ready. He's up. Ask. On the other side. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Move it!
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health,
I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Up above the knees. Here's a fly ball to left center on the run. Ian Happ in the alley. Makes a sliding catch.
Dansby going, just 2:08 in the air. Swanson drills that one out to center. That one back on its way. Gone! Right center field and out of here. Dansby Swanson a 2-run homer, and the Cubs have the lead.
You know what he did, Boog? He hit the fastball.
They chant for Cody. Punch through the left side. That'll get through. Base hit. Here he comes. Bush to the plate. The throw. Too late. Bellinger to second. The Cubs have the lead. Now will pinch hit. All loaded up on the ground towards the hole. Fielded by Ahmed. No play. Everybody's safe.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were the Cubbies yesterday with a 5-2 victory up at the friendly confines. My first guest this morning is a veteran, a vet of Chicago baseball. I'm excited to have him on to talk about this dismal season for both squads. You can find him on Twitter at MD Gonzalez. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our friend, Mark Gonzalez. Mark, good morning, Papa. How are you? Thank you for coming on this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And that was a nice tribute to Willie. I grew up a Giant fan of the Bay Area. My parents were Giant fans.
That's right.
But, having covered the Giants for 8 years and gotten to know Willie a little bit and see the man who was more than just the greatest baseball player of all time was really a fascinating experience for me. And I'm glad you spoke highly of him because he truly was a special person.
And unfortunately, he played before I was born and was able to watch him. And actually, no, he was born. He played the end of his career when he was with the Mets. I was a young kid. Because actually, a really quick story. So a buddy of mine a friend from high school, he's the only Cub fan. Remember, I grew up on the South Side, St. Rita. He's the only Cub fan of all of our friends. And we're like, how the hell did you become a Cub fan? We thought maybe it was just WGN. No. So his dad was a cop. And his dad's detail was a visiting locker room at Wrigley Field. And he has pictures of everybody, Mark. When I'm talking everybody, everyone from I'm 50, I'll be 53 next month. So you name everyone from the early 70s. I mean, you're talking from the Big Red Machine, all right, to the Pirates, every single person who'd gone. So he has my buddy has pictures that his dad took of him when he was a kid and his brother was a kid. And he posted that yesterday on Facebook. Him and Willie Mays when Willie was playing for the Mets. And I was like, all right, I guess we'll let you slide. Being a Cub fan, because that's pretty cool that you got a picture with Garvey and Ron Say and all those guys and Tommy Lasorda and just the great baseball players of the early 70s. So I'm like, yeah, we'll let it slide. So what's going on with Yeah, it was. So what's going on with our baseball teams here in Chicago? Let's get the dirty stuff out of the way first. What in God's name is going on with my White Sox? Mark, I feel like I want to go to I want to go to a game with a baseball, I mean, with a brown bag over my head like they did in New Orleans for the Aints or the Saints. Why are they so bad? Why can't people hit? Why can't we have power, we have talent? Why? What is going on with this organization on the South?
Well, you should have prepared yourself for a long season, especially offensively, because other than Luis Robert and Eloy, there wasn't much of a history among the other position players. You know, Makata got hurt early, but he's been hurt throughout his Sox tenure. Andrew Vaughn got off to an awful start. You had to expect that this was going to happen offensively. You know, the guys they had available, you know, Nicky Lopez, nice little player, but someone who hadn't been a really entrenched full-time guy. Paul DeYoung, same deal, showed some problems with the Cardinals and kind of faded. Really hasn't established himself until this season. I'm very happy for him. He's doing well. But overall, it's just been the perfect storm over there, and I kind of expected it. Offensively, the bullpen, we will go too much into that.
My goodness. Yeah. Not if you don't want to end up crying after this segment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but to me, it just seems like there's no. Talk to me about Pedro, because you know what? I was trying to find a silver lining in the hire. Like, he seems like a nice man, but he got passed over a few times in Kansas City for the head coaching for the managerial gig over there. Why does it seem like the White Sox just don't want to get quality? Because there were plenty of World Series winning managers on the market. You had Ozzie. You know me, I'm a big Ozzie fan, and I know Ozzie, and they would butt heads. Okay, but you had Joe Girardi, who was still out there. You still had Bruce Bochy, who's out there. Who, by the way, did he win another World Series after he? Yeah, he did. All right. So you had all these things, but the White Sox never wanted a veteran manager. Why do you think that they're so adamant about getting inexperienced managers, especially with a veteran team?
Well, Kansas City wasn't built in a day, and you see there's a lot of ex-Royals in this organization. And I think Chris had some familiarity with Pedro based on his days in that organization. You also had a personality, I think, in Pedro that wasn't as forceful as some of the former White Sox managers, namely, you know, Ozzie and Tony La Russa. So I think they were looking at probably the anti-Ozzie, the anti-Tony. You know, Pedro will be very forthcoming a few times if he feels strongly about something. But I think at this point they wanted somebody who was more of a low-key personality and that could teach. But now we have a situation where you know, they've sold a lot of assets that they had, and there's going to be more assets that are going to be sold. I guess the one thing I can say in Pedro's defense was what I observed this weekend in Phoenix was that the guys played hard, they prepared. And now the talent a few times is a little short, and you're going to have some growing pains because of the pitching auditions. So it's going to be very fascinating to see what happens the next 3 months and change as to how the players eliminate some of the mental mistakes they've been making and actually improve under the staff.
Well, I'm not looking forward to it. Believe you me, as a lifelong Southsider and Sox fan, it hurts my soul to see them playing this poorly. You know, and there was talking about chasing the Mets for the most futile season in history of baseball. Hopefully they don't get there, but what could be done to salvage this? Because we have talent. All right, you got Lubob, he's still there. Eloy, you know, I don't know when Yo-Yo's coming back. And Mark, in our conversation, I'm a big Yo-Yo fan. I was a big fan of his when we got him, number one prospect in the minor leagues. You still had Andrew Vaughn. All right, you still had Gavin Sheets. I know Gavin Sheets is predominantly a power hitter. Is there anything we can do, or is this just sit back, relax, strap it down, or occupy yourself with the Bears in about a month?
Well, I think the latter might be the right choice, but we'll have to see what happens leading up to the trade deadline, see if they can get a couple of impact prospects, and they really should hold hold firm on their demands like they did with Cease, and just make sure that there's an urgent demand because, with a wild card situation, they invite everybody in to play the wild card, be more teams interested. So it should be a great seller's market. And I think if they're going to trade some of their big ticket guys, namely Luis Robert, it behooves them to wait as long as possible before squeezing every prospect possible out of the team they're going to deal with.
This rotation is full of youngsters. And guys, we're joined by Mark Gonzalez, veteran baseball writer here, talking baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Some of these youngsters they got I've been a little impressed with. Again, trust me, I'm not putting them in Cooperstown by any stretch. I'm saying I've been impressed with them. All right, Jonathan Cannon yesterday, 8 2/3. 8 2/3. Talk to you about some of the youngsters that they had that they brought up. It's always great to see a good pitching performance from youngsters because I guess that gives us hope. Because if you can't pitch, you can't stop anybody. It doesn't matter how many big bats you have in the lineup. And we've had a couple of nice youngsters in the rotation, not to mention Garrett Crochet, who's on a bump tonight for the good guys. Talk to me about that rotation and some of the bright spots from these youngsters that I was pleasantly surprised to see.
Well, as you know, you can always sell hope. And what Cannon did last night, first game of homestand, very impressive. And I like the fact they let him go as long as they could. He's a homegrown guy too. So the staff that's been here for a while can feel good about that. Drew Thorpe's also a pretty good prospect. I know he had a tough one Sunday in Arizona, but there are a couple of factors there. One is the Diamondbacks got a chance to see him on videotape, unlike the Mariners, as far as getting a real good major league evaluation of him. And the kid's going to improve. He knows what he did wrong. I think those mistakes he made were correctable. And he's a guy that you got to remember, he jumped from AA to the majors. So
right.
The curve's a little high for him, but that's okay. I think it's good to challenge the right kind of kids. I think Thorpe's a guy who has the mental makeup to handle that. So those are two guys, Nastrini, he's been going back and forth, but I wouldn't give up on him. I think he's got a pretty fresh arm, didn't pitch much at UCLA. And, the Dodgers have a really good farm system. So I credit the Sox for identifying him and Jordan Leisure. As far as who else comes up, we'll have to wait and see, but it'll definitely be an audition, and it'll be good for the Sox staff to at least get a good read on these guys as far as major league, whether the major league ready going into 2025.
So last question, so we can get off this, so I don't start crying. About how many more years before they become relevant? I mean, I've only gone to 2 games this year, Mark, and usually I'll hit 10 plus. Mm-hmm. I went to opening day, and that's actually my buddy Southside Zoe. He convinced me to go. I didn't want to go, and he convinced me to go. It's gonna be a good time, tailgate. I'm like, all right. Then they lost opening day. The only other time I went was a last minute thing. A friend of mine called me and said, "Oh, a friend of mine bought a suite. You want to go?" I'm like, "Sweet, free food? I'm there, baby. I'm there." So how long do you think before the Sox become relevant again?
Well, first of all, did you have a milkshake?
I didn't, because I was in a suite and I wasn't aware of the opening day. I didn't. I had too many beers with my friends, so there's no room for sweets.
I would think, look at the Tigers as a warning to not get too hyped up, because they stocked up their staff on young pitchers, and a few of them have broken down. So keep that in mind. It's only natural that unfortunately you're going to have pitchers breaking down, especially in this era where they're telling guys to throw 100-mile-an-hour sweepers. Your body just can't handle it. So having said that, I would think that 2026 you better see a team that can compete in the AL Central. I think they have young arms. They still have to take that next big step to do it. But excuse me. But there is promise there. The issue is going to be also the other spots. Whether Montgomery is their shortstop of the future, or you got to move him to third. Whether Andrew Vaughn, currently he's on a nice ascent. Whether he sustains that, where you can say, okay, he's part of our future. Catching, I think they're going to be okay. with Corey Lee and this other kid, Kittle, down in the minors. I think there's a potential there. So
I like Corey Lee a lot. I do. I
yeah.
like what I've seen from him so far.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to strike gold in the draft because you're picking so low. So those are all the components. But I think that Sox fans, I feel for you. You know, your patience has been tested to the max. You deserve better. So having said that, I would think 2026, you better see a division contender.
All right, thank you. Let's go to the north side. And man, we have a lot of Cub fans in the chat, and a lot of them are not happy. My good friend, Junior, good friend of mine, Northsider, his whole life. I agree. Why? What's happening up there? You poached the manager from the division winning organization from the Milwaukee Brewers. You think I got it? That's it. You figure he's an upgrade from David Ross, and now you're fluctuating between third and fourth in the division. What's going on, and why can't the Cubs get on track?
Well, they've also been last a few times, so don't forget about that. They've been last place in one of the weakest divisions of baseball.
I like when you said that.
Well, facts are facts, you know.
I agree, and I'm a Sox fan, so when you spit facts like the Cubs were in last, that just kind of tickles my heart.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was dancing around when the Cardinals were in last, and look what happened then. They passed them up. So I think with the Cubs, I would throw out a warning there, and that's the bullpen, something that snuck up on them last year. Excuse me, Cubs are getting to me. Anyway,
yeah, I get it.
Everybody points
Chicago
to
baseball.
Everybody points to the offense, and I understand that, but long-term warning, I would say, would be the bullpen. It was that issue the last 3 weeks of last year when they faded miserably, and I think those guys were just taxed. They were going into uncharted waters in terms of a 162-game season. The appearances built up, and they just wore out. And I think this year it hasn't been so much that as it's been the ineffectiveness. Certainly they should be better when they get a guy like Merriweather back, but then his history of injuries, you wonder, okay, is he built to last for half? You don't know. Quas, disappointment. They really didn't invest much in the bullpen last winter. And I roll my eyes when I hear this phrase, bullpens are volatile. Well, yeah, they are, but you know what? That's why you pay scouts to identify the guys who are reliable, dependable, and can sneak up on guys that are late bloomers and all that. And I think the upper management failed to address that this winter.
Yeah, they really did, and it's frustrating. So, they're 8 games back. They're in last place as we speak. Very disappointing year. Is there any chance of them even sniffing a wild card?
Oh, sure, I think so.
Okay.
I think they can do it, but a lot's going to depend on their bullpen being more consistent. And I think the offense will pick up a little bit more. How much? I don't know. I mean, they might need to go out and get a bat, but that doesn't concern me as much as late inning relief.
Guys, we're joined by Mark Gonzalez, veteran Chicago baseball writer here, talking Cubs and Sox baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. This kid, Christopher Morel, I'm still a big fan. Even though I don't like the Cubs, I have no problem identifying talent and admiring talent. He's a very talented young man. Where do they put him? That's the only problem. You can't put him in the field. He's not a real good man. Center fielder, no, you got, you have Bellinger. Oh, then you got PCA, right field, maybe DH. Where would you put this guy and keep him there? Because his bat needs to be in the lineup, because this kid he plays with an infectious enthusiasm of a youngster, and man, he produces when he's out there.
We have reached a point where we really don't have an answer. And I say that because I really thought he'd be better this year at third. He certainly had the backing of Craig Counsell, who saw the talent in him. But you just can't go on, with these mistakes. And I really thought the kid was going to be improving steadily. And you see some plays where it's okay, but other times it's tough. And if you're pitching, you rely on the ground balls. You got to have a guy over there who can pick it and sling it. And it just hasn't happened with a semblance of consistency. Now, we know in past years he's moved around quite a bit, but the positions are pretty well set. So having said that, council might have to be giving this kid a lot more scrutiny as far as where he plays him and all that, and still keeping the other guys fresh, because Morel's one of their power guys. They don't have really truly many guys who hit for power in that lineup.
Would he be? I mean, you can't find a spot for him consistently. Would he be someone that the Cubs might consider moving for another piece at the trade deadline?
Well, you better get power in return somewhere, because this guy, he can hit for power, and that's something that management really hasn't addressed the last 2 years, with the exception of Bellinger. It's been maddening the way they just kind of acknowledged it, but haven't really addressed it. So until you get another power bat in there, this is what you got.
Are they having buyer's remorse with Dansby Swanson? He was on the back of a milk carton a while for a long time, as he hits a 2-run homer yesterday. But he really hasn't lived up to his contract. Hasn't really excited the Wrigley faithful. You think there might be some buyer's remorse with that signing?
I don't think they're at that point at all.
Okay.
Certainly the production's been off. It's been alarming, because I really like Swanson a lot. But big picture, this is a guy you've invested a lot in. He's capable of playing Gold Glove defense. At least he did the first 4 or 5 months of his Cubs tenure, but since then it's kind of dropped off. Kind of alarming. But I think he's capable of a hot streak. But you got what, 5 more years after this, so you'd hope you get more production out of him.
Yeah, you would hope. Talk to me about the Craig Counsell situation now. Was that the right move? Is it's just he can't work with, or he's not able to make chicken salad, chicken garbage? I mean, what is his thing? Because many people thought that, okay, you got one of the best managers in baseball. All right, they felt that Ross was the issue. Some people felt Ross was the issue, so you upgraded. Do you think that was the right move? Because it seemed to me I don't follow Cubs baseball intently as I do White Sox baseball, but I follow them. And I mean, it seems like guys played for Ross, and he could be his X's and O's, so to speak, but guys played for Ross. Was this the right move, or is it all gonna work out in the end once Counsell gets a little more established or settled here in Chicago? We're almost halfway in through year one.
Well, I think Counsell's having some of the same problems that Ross did in terms of the bullpen, namely, the thing is, Counsell inherited Azalea, who was ineffective, and we found out was hurt. Where last year, David never announced Azalea as a closer, but then he did well, and then got hurt. So they've had to deal with that. I don't like criticizing David, because they moved on from him, and I thought that that was kind of precarious, because I think if you had issues with somebody, then make a move right away. Don't wait for a month unless it's Earl Weaver. And I'm not trying to knock Counsell, because I do like Counsell, the job he did in Milwaukee and all that. I just think that the parts that he thought that he'd have that be working haven't, and I don't think management did him any favors by giving him the bullpen they gave him. Now, I will say that last year down the stretch, Ross used Gomes more than Amaya. It was kind of interesting, because it looked like they were going to move Gomes at the deadline, but then they started winning, so they held on to him. And I think he played a little more than he should have. And it also hurt Amaya's development, where he lost out on some at-bats, because the pitchers love throwing to him, as they do Gomes. But I think Amaya losing those at-bats really hurt him this year.
Yeah, I was wondering. Like I said, I liked Ross as a player. Obviously, it's going to take time, and that's his first time as a manager. So no one ever does their job well or excellent when you first start out. It's going to take time, and it was one of the things that I thought as well as far as the bullpen. So I was just wanted to get your thoughts on it, because the Cubs were, according the idea was they'd be vying for the division at this particular point with the new manager, with bringing Bellinger back and Morrell another year and Swanson another year, and it really hasn't come to fruition. Last question before we let you go, Mark. As always, I appreciate your time. The pitching staff, the rotation, the professor's on a bump today. Is it time for him to step away, or them to do away with it? Part ways with the professor. Kyle Hendricks is, 2016 was a long time ago, and pitchers get old, and the old saying, "Father Time is undefeated." So, do you think it's getting pretty close to times where they part ways?
Well, not yet, and I said only because Jordan Wicks is hurt, and you got to keep Kyle. He's been battle tested. Unfortunately, he's lost a lot of battles lately. This will be a good test for him today against the Giants. We'll have to see what happens because he didn't pitch badly last time, which was very, very encouraging. But now you really need him to be the guy or close to the guy he once was, because they can't afford to have many games get away from them like they've had lately. And at some point, Wicks will come back, and we'll have to see what happens. But Kyle, he can really help his chances by pitching well today, because that pitching staff, starting staff's doing well, but it's getting really thin. So they need a big one from him today. Yeah, Mark, awesome stuff today. I appreciate it as I do every time. Do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you online. MD Gonzalez at what used to be Twitter and now is X. I was talking to somebody the other day. I think it was my buddy Junior or someone else. And that whole 2016 the championship team, the only person who's really doing anything, and now he's hurt, is really Rizzo. Like, how crazy was how fast was the deterioration of that team? Like Bryant, I forgot. Truth to be told, Mark, I forgot he was still playing. All right, Baez is up in Detroit. Who's the guy who they kept with Malaysia? They kept Hendricks. Let go of Schwarber. Oh, Schwarber, the other one. That's what Schwarber. Schwarber's, he's still not going to cover off the ball. But it was just crazy how the deterioration of that team, of the players, happened so fast. And I was like, wow, man, that's, it just boggled my mind. We thought Chris Bryant was going to be a generational talent and, Hall of Famer. And once he left here, man, and all those guys, for all intents and purposes, Russell, who was the shortstop? Addison Russell. Yeah, I mean, he's not even in the league anymore. So it just went, man, backwards fast. I was just talking about someone with that and how quickly deteriorated. Well, we can talk for 2 or 3 hours on that because I have a lot of theories on that. So. Really? Okay. Well, then we probably be able to talk another 2 or 3 hours on what the hell happened to Lou Bob and Eloy and Yo-Yo, unless we just sum it up in one word: injuries. That was quick. Hey, Mark, again, great stuff, my man. I appreciate it. Well, I'll be in touch soon. Thanks for remembering me. Take care. Thank you. Guys, this is Mark Gonzalez, veteran Chicago sports writer. He does some work for the Sun-Times, talking baseball with me. And, it's tough, man. It's tough. Both sides of town. I didn't realize they were in last. So I know I laugh when I say the Cubs were in last, but they're a half game back. Come here. Milwaukee's in first. St. Louis is second, 6 games back. Cincy and Pittsburgh are 7.5 games back, and the Cubs are 8. So, yes, technically they're last, but they're half game out. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. But listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we'll talk. We have some more things to talk. I want to talk a little. Oh, no more baseball. Thank goodness. Talk a little Sky, and we'll talk a little Bears. How's that sound? How about them there apples, huh? Catch me outside. How about that? All right, guys. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? angry, overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Reese finding Cardoso. Puts it back too hard off the backboard. Still gets it. She's got those soft hands, and she puts it back just like that. Allen in trouble into the hands of Carter. Fades it back. Cardoso, another offensive rebound and put back. In and out dribble. Tries to back down Mitchell.
Might have got away with a walk there.
Reese to Mabry. Her first 3 points. So the other rookies who have made it into the WNBA here this year, that's just the way it goes year in and year out. Dana Evans taking the contact. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Evans, 4-3, knocks it down. She has come alive.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS Sports. That was my sky. That was the Chicago sky. Tough one. 91-83 loss to the Fever. Second loss to Indiana. Angel Reese is a little frustrated with it. Rightfully so. She's a competitor. She's one who just doesn't like to lose. Doesn't like to lose. You know, I like her honesty, her youthfulness, her naivety. You know, because you sit back and you think back when you were that, and I was that age. You know, and I was playing ball. I was playing ball in Italy at that point, and just your mindset is different. And excuse me. Yeah, it's just interesting. You know, people have asked her about Rookie of the Year, and she's just like, I'm not worried about Rookie of the Year. You know, like I'm worried about winning, stopping. And I like that about her. You know, I really do. I like her thought process. I like her There's a lot I like about Angel Reese. All right, there's a whole heck of a lot that I like. I like her mentality. I like her mindset. I like her grittiness on the court. I do. I love it. You know, and she'll rep Baltimore and claim Baltimore, you know, until the day she dies, and rightfully so. You know, it built her, it made her who she was, and you know, we're fortunate to have her here, being a blue collar worker. And you know what? I think that's the thing that why so many people like her, because you can sit there and get caught up in a you know, the Bayou Barbie and Chi-Town Barbie and her fashion shoots and her outfits, which I love. But I love when that the WNBA has them come and dressed like women. Okay, you know, nice dresses, you know, just heels. I just love. I think it's great. Okay, she goes. She's going to work. Like I think the thing that resonates with Chicago fans is how she goes about her business. All right. She's beautiful. She's athletic. She's young. She's rich. But you know what? She goes to work. She goes to work. Like she's battling under the board. She's getting double doubles here. You know, what does she have? Like 8 or 9? Does she have 8 or 9 consecutive double doubles? Okay. That's going to work. When the scores aren't very high and you're getting a double double, Chicago fans respect that. All right. Remember, I'll take us back to 96, 97, 98. Remember Rodman? With all his crazy antics, who was the most loved, obviously, beside Mike? Rodman. Why? Because that dude was fighting. He was battling. Usually guys bigger than him, stronger than him. But it didn't mean he wasn't big and strong. It doesn't mean he wasn't strong. All right. And the fact that he went to work, he'd get 12, 16, 18, 14, 17 rebounds a night against many guys who were taller than him, bigger than him. His relentlessness, his defense, you know, block shots, you know, the key rebounds. He went to work, and Chicago's a blue-collar town. And people loved him. And that's why they love Angel Reese, because she goes to work. All right. Chicagoans know what it feels like to get up and go to work, have to go to work every day. Okay. Don't complain. You just got to do what you got to do. And Angel Reese is doing what she's got to do. And I think that's the biggest attraction, because it's not just the physical that she's a beautiful young lady. It's the fact that she goes to work just like everybody else here in Chicago. Okay. And seemingly doesn't take a day off. Doesn't take a day off. You know, she has an old school mentality, which you know was forged by Kim Mulkey, or reinforced by Kim Mulkey, her coach at LSU, who was a stud in her day. If you don't remember, go back and check out Louisiana Tech, or go back and check out Kim Mulkey as a point guard for Louisiana Tech, the Lady Texters. They used to wear T-shirts. Not T-shirts, but they had long, short sleeves instead of tank tops back when they won the NCAA title back in 81, 82, somewhere in there. Kim Mulkey is a fiery, old school coach with old school values and beliefs. And you see that. You see that with Angel Reese. So I'm enjoying her stay, her time in Chicago. I hope it's for another 8 years, 10 years. I think that'll be phenomenal. All right. I think she's adapted to the city. The city is definitely adapted to her. Same with Camila Cardoso. All right. Same with Camila Cardoso. You know what? There's a lot of things so now here's what you need to see. Remember, the same thing that people are saying about Caitlin Clark are the same things that can be said about Angel Reese. Like, you know, you want to, you know, you want to, you can't label it because they're all WNBA players all coming out at the same time. So there's definitely similar issues. By that I mean, okay, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, all right, they're playing to the Final Four. All right. Then within a month of the Final Four was a draft, or a couple weeks after the Final Four was a draft. So within a month, Final Four, draft, training camp. So she's had no time. Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, they've had no time to recover. They've had no time to get in a full offseason. They haven't had time. Because I told you, I think Camila Cardoso needs to lose weight. She's bottom heavy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. She's just not WNBA. She's not professional ready. All right. She's just tired. You know, your body needs a break. So I think next year you'll see her a lot trimmer, a little slimmer, but it won't mean she won't be as strong, if not stronger, quicker. And I think that'll do wonders. And it sucks because you can't put they're not going to be able to get that time coming out of college. You just can't, because of when their season starts, because you're not putting the WNBA up against the NBA. You're not doing that. That's suicide. So it's literally right after the NCAA season, here comes the WNBA season. It's just, it's the nature of the beast. But I will tell you this, I am so happy. You know, so happy with those numbers that I mentioned earlier. Brandon, what's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. You know, I am so happy with these numbers. About 3 million people. You know, and people keep talking about Caitlin Clark in the Olympics. And again, I'll get off my soapbox. I'll get on my soapbox for a little bit. And people are saying about, well, she's not one of the best 12. And I say, I agree. But it's not about that. It's not about, they don't need her to win another gold medal. They won the last 7 gold medals. So they don't need her to win a gold medal. Okay. What they need her to do is to get on the game. Look what she's doing here. 3 million, around 3 million people watched her last game on Sunday. The highest, the most watched WNBA game in over 20 years. Her versus Angel Reese. Okay. And then they play again on Sunday. Is it Sunday? When do they play again? Is it Sunday? Yes. They play Sunday here. You don't think they're going to be close to, there'll be over 2 million people watching again? You're damn right. You know, but what they needed to do is to get her, is because she's gotten this swell of support, which she deserves. Okay, I'm not denying that at all. I'm not saying she's a fad or she's something flavor of the month. No, she's good. Why not expand? Why not expand your reach? Or why not expand her exposure? To me, that didn't make sense. I understand she's not one of the best 12. That's fine. Name me any of the starting 5 on the U.S. women's national team right now. Name me the starting 5. Name me 3 of the starting 5. 2 of the starting 5. You can't do it. You can't. And this is why she needs to be on that team. Okay, it's hot. If you start getting her international eyes. International eyes. Why do you think that the NBA allow their players to play in the 92 Olympics? All right. One, obviously, USA want to make sure that they were going to win. Okay. But two, they were taking the game global. They were taking the game global. So you had to get across the pond. Do you remember the picture of Michael? He's walking in Barcelona. He looks up and there's like a 4 or 5 story advertisement of Michael just with one of his moves. That's what Caitlin Clark can do. That's what Caitlin Clark can do. And you see how the game has grown. So now the WNBA can go have basketball camps in Italy, in France, in Germany. Because they have leagues over there. But now you can go poach some of the best players over there first. That would be the biggest issue. But the way you start being able to pay them and start bringing more talent. When you get more talent, well, now you got to expand. Now you got to expand. Guess what? More people are playing. More people are playing. More people are going to want to see them. If you get international stars, these people from the people from their country are going to want to see their star in the WNBA. In arenas, selling out 15, 16, 17, 18,000 seat arenas. So I think the U.S. Women's Basketball Committee really dropped the ball, and it's unfortunate. Truly, truly is, because to get these girls in front of international eyes opens the game internationally, allows you to expand because there'll be more people are going to want to come and play NBA. Again, not initially, because they can make most likely can make more overseas, but it's going to be the most prestigious league. It'll be the most prestigious league. And I think they did themselves a big disservice. And I wouldn't doubt, because women can be petty. Women can be very petty. They could look you in the eye and be all nice and hate your guts. Most men can't do that. And I think some of it is jealousy. Okay. But you also have to understand what this girl represents, and that's financial, a much brighter, bigger financial future for you and for future WNBA players. Because she ain't going nowhere for another 10 or 15 years. She's not going anywhere. And her rivalry, if you want to call it, the one that the media is trying to create, or with her and Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, is gold. It is gold. And they're going to ride that thing, ride it out, just like Magic and Larry back in 79. They're going to ride the thing out. And they should. You want to make money? You're in the business of making money, then do that. And I have no problem with it. No problem whatsoever. I want these girls to play in 16, 18, 20,000 seat arenas and sell out or 90% capacity. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They have the skill, they have the talent. Let's do it. Let's do it. They're talking about they've lost an average of $10 million a year since it started. And now there's a chance for it to start going the other way because of this girl. You better make her sick and tired of doing shit for the WNBA. Like, all right, another pro, another this, another that. I mean, get a group of them together, but she's going to have to be the face of it. I think her and Angel Reese are perfect, because Cameron Brink, the girl from LA Sparks, you can use her too. She's tall, beautiful. She's another beautiful young lady. So you start bringing, like I said, remember I said I like the fact that they're making them very feminine in a league that was stereotyped with mostly lesbians. Okay, they're making the women look very feminine to get the male audience. So, her, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Carmela Cardoso, Caitlin Clark, some of the other stars. I love the fact that they're making them feminine. I love the fact that they're coming into the arena in dresses. or nice outfits. It's just, and I know it may sound misogynistic or chauvinistic, but sex sells. I hate to break that to you. All right, you want more guys to watch? All right, have the girls coming in like they're going dressed up nicely, dressed up well. All right, this I liked. I love it. I just love it. I love it. I just because of my background in sports, I'm all for it, and I hope they continue this. It's just too bad that they can't go back now, and too bad they can't go back and add her to the team. Or would she want to? That's the question. Would she? I would say you don't got a choice, Mama. You don't got a choice. You're about to bring us millions, maybe even billions of dollars. This is an epochal moment. All right, for the WNBA, and I believe that they messed it up. But that's just me. What do I know? What do I know? You know? So what about Swoop saying Clark is a bully in the league? No. You know, she does her, I don't know about bullying. You know, she does her, but that's unfortunately that's the way of the game, men's and women's now, and college and high school and AAU. She's a competitor. She's a competitor. Let her compete. Okay, let her compete. She's gonna get thrown around. She's gonna get fouled hard. Guess what? They fouled everybody hard. They fouled Michael Jordan hard. They fouled LeBron hard. They fouled Magic hard. They fouled Shaq. The Shaq of the hack of Shaq. Come on. They're beating up on a poor little white girl. She's all right. She'll be good. She's tough. You don't lead the NBA, the history. You don't become the women's NCAA scoring title or scoring champion. Score the most points ever by an NCAA in the history of the NCAA women's basketball by not being tough. Okay, she's fine. Stop making it. Oh, poor. They're picking on her. No, not. They might be. They might be. But is she complaining? Nope. So stop worrying about it. Not hurting her. Hard fouls. Nothing. There's been nothing to the point where I'm like, oh man, she could have got hurt. No, not at all. So I don't. Thank you, Shorty. Appreciate you. But listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little Bears football. I'm excited to talk about that. I don't know if you know, but I like football a little bit. So we're going to talk about this, and we'll bring up some of the things that we talked about yesterday on Nomad Show. So I'm on Nomad and I for the next few weeks, probably to the next 6 weeks, or 5 weeks now. We're coming on every Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central. Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central. All right, then I'll come on Wednesday on my show here like I am now. So I'll bring some of the topics over and we'll talk about them in addition to my own topics and ideas that I want to discuss. We'll talk about this Bears offensive line. And yeah. So listen, keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Move it!
Many will hear the calling. will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms. On Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel, you can find us at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Chicago Bears and their media team. Whoo, that got me a little fired up. That got me a little fired up. They got me a little fired up. I am looking forward to this upcoming season. All right, I really am. And we talked about it on OMAD yesterday on our daily Bears talk. We talked about it, and I'm really looking forward to the upcoming season because there's a lot of people who are going to be pleasantly surprised. I was giving Nate the benefit, but I'm on the other side of that. Now, I hear you, Plank. I'm tired of that, Mother Hubbard. I'm tired of it. You're getting paid $10 million a year, Papa. Okay? Show us that you give a damn. Show your teammates that you give a damn. Be at all these functions. Do more than necessary. Okay? So my thing is this. Look, you make it $10 million a year. You can rent a house. Okay? So what you can do if I were you, rent the house, get your kid, get your wife, your kid, get her involved in the year. So you're going to be here for 2 years, at least. Third year, we don't know. 2 years you're going to be here. Say, hey, listen, in the summer at least. Now, if you want to go back you know, because you're comfortable with school or we're in our hometown where we live, fine, no problem. But get your ass up here in the summer. Okay? Trust me, the Bears staff will find you park districts in Lake Forest, little rich neighborhoods up there in the North Shore that you can put your kids in. Have a perfect experience. All right, you want to go travel? No problem. You go on vacation, but come back here. And you not wanting to do that after they gave you $10 million a year is ridiculous. That's selfish. Stop being so damn self-centered. Tell them, Shorty, get your ass voluntary OTAs. Show you give a goddamn. I hope so. Cornelius, I hope he has options. Good options, not just options. You always have options. My guy Junior, look at, I played O-line and couldn't stand not being out there with my teammates. We were a unit and we played together for 5 seasons and we knew each other so well we never bumped into each other. Because of the chemistry you built. Because you gave a damn. Every single one of your offensive linemen they gave a damn. You know, I just, to me, that bugs me. You know, they believed in you. They trusted in you to give you $10 million a year for 3 years. And you can't repay them. Say, hey, listen, it was well worth it. I want to be here front and center. I want my team. The hell with the organization. I want my teammates to know. I want Darnell Wright to my right to know that I'm here. I want whoever the center is going to be to my left that I'm here. I want Tevinjenkins on the other side to know I'm here. I want Braxton Jones on the other end to know that I'm here and you can count on me. But no. Nate Davis doesn't want to do that. You know, when people say, oh, birthdays and this and all this other stuff, listen, you're making $10 million a God blessed year. There's going to be plenty of birthdays, time for birthdays when you're not in the NFL. Money to travel. Play. There's a thing. This is a thing called Dance with Who Brung You. And who brung you was the Bears. $10 million a year, so you do what you should do for them. That was his knock coming out of Tennessee. That same thing. I don't know. To me, Nate Davis is not doing as much as he to endear himself to his teammates. More importantly, his offensive line fraternity. You know, Shorty, you're right. You're going to a new system, new terminology, new everything. You need to be here as much as you can. You know, I just don't think it boggles my mind. $10 million a year they're giving you and you can't be here. I understand what the word voluntary means. I graduated with college. I graduated college with a degree. I get it. I understand what the word voluntary means. But I'd be front and center all over the place. Because this is how you know some people were raised different. Some people were raised different. Because there's no reason you shouldn't be allowing your teammates to have questions on your work ethic. Allowing the fans to have questions on your work ethic. No reason. Not a $10 million a year. Hell, just being in the NFL, you're set for life. That bugs me. We talked about one of the things we talked about yesterday is this offensive line good enough for Caleb? I say yes. I say yes. I think Caleb is due to his quick release, due to Shane Waldron's scheme. I think this offensive line is more than equipped. And I hope this offensive line spends a lot of time run blocking. We talked about that yesterday as well. I hope Shane Waldron realizes that his best friend, I'm talking Caleb Williams' best friend, is a great run game. Which is why I said, you know what? Bump this. Tevin, you're right guard. Nate Davis, you're left guard. If you can't play, we'll cut your ass. We'll take the loss and we'll move on. But let me get somebody in here who can play. Because I want that right side of my offensive line. I want everyone and their mama to know on 3rd and 1 where we're going. Tevin Jenkins, Darnell Wright, Mercedes Lewis. Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett in motion with Kari Blasingame leading the way. We're coming. We're coming. End of story. You're not stopping this 3rd and 1. I talked about the attitude that we need. I talked about the mentality that we needed. You know, you're a team player. You don't want to show up. You don't want to do more than necessary. Then guess what? The Bears shouldn't do more than necessary for you either anymore. That based on the other guy whom I can't remember, I never remember, battle for left guard, Cortland Shelton. Tevin must play right guard next to right. I agree. That's the mauling side of Lord have mercy. That's the mauling side. Lord have mercy. You know, you're in a spot where you can the identity of this team can be forged through your offensive line. It can be forged through it. It should be forged through it. All right. Do you remember the Eagles 2 years ago? All they talked about was their stud offensive line. I'm cool with it. That's what I want this Bears thing to be. This Bears team to be. You know, and the more people, I don't know if you understand it. Some people do. Many people do. But the more you run the ball, do you realize how amazing, how much easier it's going to be to pass if they can't stop your run? You realize how easy it's going to be to sneak a tight end past the linebackers? We just talked it. 3rd and short. Tevin Jenkins, right guard. Darnell Wright, right tackle. Mercedes Lewis. Cole Kmet in motion. Kari Blasingame behind. Boop. Fake the handoff. Dump it to Blasingame in the flat. Or Mercedes Lewis behind the linebackers. Boom. After you pound them 3 or 4 times. You know, I wonder about the depth. Kieran, the guy from Yale, from Hinsdale Central. Like, he was hurt. So, like, why did he draft him? Remember we drafted Stan Thomas? Who was the guy from Wisconsin that we ended up playing with the Cowboys for a while? It was good. Had a nice little career. I can't think of it. But, like, he did most of his best work away from the Bears. So why draft someone who's hurt and needs surgery? Mark Colombo, was it? Might have been Colombo. But, like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, get some dogs in here. You should, being former offensive linemen, you should. Gabe Karimi, there you go. Gabe Karimi. Gabe Karimi, Shorty, is the one I was thinking of from Wisconsin. Yeah. He played at Wisconsin. And ended up having a decent career, but mostly with the Dallas Cowboys. Not here, the team that drafted him. So go get guys who are dogged. Go get guys who truly, truly love this game. You know, I'm looking at the wide receivers, and we saw in that clip, passes to DJ Moore, passes to Rome Odunze, to Gerald Everett. I love the weapons. I think the more you run the ball, the numbers will be down for the receivers, number of catches, but the average, your average reception, average yards per catch is going to be through the roof. It's going to be big plays. It'll be 20 plus almost. Especially for someone like Rome Odunze, who's going to be getting the third best cornerback on the team at best. Maybe it's a fourth. Maybe it's a fifth. Maybe it's a guy who just signed off the street this week. And Rome can go to work. You got DJ Moore, that we know who is a stud. Keenan Allen is a stud. These guys are studs. And I think there's going to be a lot of big plays with these receivers. One, they're big play receivers. But two, they're going to be big play receivers because of the fact that you have to respect the run. So I hope Chris Morgan understands this. I assume he's aware of it. I assume he understands the importance of this. We'll see. We will see. Because I'm looking at Caleb Williams, like, okay, here it is, Papa, you got it all. You have one hell of a roster. Shane Waldron, don't get too crazy. Don't get out over your skis, which I don't think he will. I think he'll be able to bring this kid along slowly. I think he'll be able to, with the running of the ball. Man, and if they blitz, you swing DeAndre Swift out. One of two things. You got a linebacker in space, or you got him by himself because the linebacker blitzed and he beat the blitz and got the ball out to DeAndre Swift. How soon can Caleb get a true grasp of this offense? Probably not until next year. Okay. But he can get a grasp of it this year. He can. And that's going to be fun. You know, you think about Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's. It's the same offense. So after year one, you don't have to learn new shit. You have to learn new terminology. You have to learn anything. More importantly, your offensive line doesn't have to learn anything. Your receivers don't have to learn new route trees or concepts. Your running backs have the same landmarks because the running game is the same plays. Well, Shorty, if they get to the Super Bowl, then he will definitely have the offense down. He'll definitely have the offense down. But on defense, you know, I think the defense, here's a good chance for this defense to really separate themselves from other. Oh, you mean this defense, this year? I know where you're going with it, but I was just messing with you, Shorty. I think this is a great chance for the defense to step up and kind of get, I don't know if I'm going to say fool's goal. What I want to say is show out early, because there's a lot of pressure, a lot of hype on this defense now because of the additions that they added last year. All right. The Montez Sweat, the gervondexters, Zach Pickens, Tyreek Stevenson. All right. The two linebackers, Edmonds and Edwards. And then you got Jonathan, you got Bayard, the free safety, an all-pro replacing an all-pro. Here's a good time for the defense to really, really, really get people talking about, could this be one of the best Bears defenses ever? Because if you are, you're taking a lot of pressure off this offense. You're taking a lot of the spotlight off this offense. You're taking a lot of the scrutiny off this offense. Because if the offense can give you 14 points, 21 points, and you account for 3 to 7 points, maybe not score a touchdown every game because that's unrealistic, but you get a turnover and you set them up inside the red zone. So you know you're going to get at least a field goal. If the defense sets up 3 to 10 points a game, whether it's actually scoring or field position, turnovers, scoop and score, scoop and, advance, you're not going to worry about this offense. And it makes it easier for this offense to flow when your defense sets you up. Think about having to go 35 yards for a touchdown. Think about having to go 50 yards for a touchdown. Think about having to go 36 yards for a touchdown. 18 yards for a touchdown. Think of it. You talk about building confidence in your quarterback, building confidence in your offense. That's how you do it. So the defense is really up against a challenge this year. They got to come out strong. Jalen, you just got paid. Show people you're worthy. Tyreek Stevenson, you finished off last year with a bang. Show them it wasn't a fluke. Jaquan Brisker. All right, start scaring some of these wide receivers as they come across. Kyler Gordon. Keep being the pain, become a bigger nuisance to receivers in the slot. This defense has a really good shot because if think of this, if the defense comes out and is the main reason they win, or a huge reason they win, remember, they go down. Here's a big statement. You go down, you shut down the Houston Texans week 2 in Houston. After beating Tennessee in the opening week, this defense is going to get talked about a lot, more than it's talked about already. And that's what I want. That's what I want. I want this defense to come say, hey, listen, we got you, offense. We're going to let the NFL just know as soon as this offense catches up, it's a problem for you. A bigger problem for you because we as a defense are a problem for you right now. And if you can get this offense to come along, take all the pressure off it, and everyone's focusing on how good the defense is, how good Montez Sweat is, how big of a jump Gervon has taken, how big of a impact Austin Booker is making and third downs, get him 4 to 6 sacks. What? Billings stuffing the run. You get this team. Like I said, I showed you the schedule. Here it is again. Tennessee week 1 is huge. We have to win that. It's not over if we don't. But we have to win it to gain momentum going into Houston. We go into Houston and take that. Now we're cooking. Now we got Indy on the road again, then 3 home games. LA, or 2 home games, and the London game in October 13th, which is technically a home game for us. Hit your bye: Washington, Arizona, New England. 3 teams that are subpar. I'm telling you, I had 7-2. Difficult getting that second loss. I really had a problem trying to find 3 losses in those first 9 games. So after week 10, this offense Caleb should have a very good grasp of this offense. Not perfect, not a great one, not like one he'll have next year and moving forward. No. But he'll be a lot more comfortable in this offense after week 10. And now you can start adding things to the playbook. You add things to the playbook, and if you have a quarterback that you trust that gets it, whew. So we need to see. And it's a little frustrating talking about it because you know what? We're all so excited about the way this has been built. Okay? And we're anxious because it's been a long time. It's been a long time since people had the Bears on their lips talking about them. It's been a long time. And with the way that things are stacked now, with this organization, with the team, with the players, it got people really, really excited. And rightfully so. Man, I think this team is ready. Could you just imagine a 7-1 start with Caleb and the D playing great, like 7 convincing wins? It would feel like the moment has to return. I don't know if it would feel that great, but it'll feel great. It would be great. It would definitely be great. But the problem is I could see him losing games too if the offense doesn't click. Actually, not as many. Because I think this defense is going to set up this offense on a consistent basis. Got some dogs on that defense, man. We got some dogs on this defense. I have not said that in a while, and I'm excited. The 2 cornerbacks, Stevenson, Jalen, the nickel, Kyler Gordon, safeties, Byard, Brisker. You have some guys with an attitude back there. Not just talent, an attitude. I told you I could see a 9-0 start. Not realistically, or I should say it's not realistic. I just think there's going to be too many bumps in the road, injuries, things like that. Bad call here or there, bad play here or there. But I said 7-2 in their first 9. 7-2. Before you go into your remaining games, where all your division schedule is in those remaining 8 games. All your division. That's dope. You know, they got this quarterback. Who's the guy? Because you got Tyson Bates, but don't forget, you got to bring in quarterbacks every year. You really do, just to see. But I think Tyson Bates is going to have a good year in this offense. Let's not forget, there's going to be times where the Bears are going to be up or down. You take the quarterback out, Tyson Bagent go in. I hope Tyson. I like Tyson. I hope he's here for another 3 or 4 years. I just hope he is. That'd be dope for him. That'd be dope. Shorty, you're out of control. Doing the Super Bowls this year. If they did, I highly, highly, highly doubt that they will. Just saying. Anyway. Hey, listen, 2 hours is come and gone. Woo-wee! I want to thank my guest, Mark Gonzalez, Chicago baseball sports writer, for coming on, joining me today, talking White Sox and Cubs. I want to thank you. Guys, I missed you. All right, I'll be back next Wednesday here on Sports Zone Chicago. All right, you can catch me on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central on Nomads Network. We're gonna get it set up to make sure it's back streaming consistently on our Roku channel. There's been an issue with it when I'm doing my Nomad show with Nomad. So we'll get that together, get that going. All right. Phenomenal weekend as well. If you're going to be around the Chicagoland area, it's going to be hot the rest of the week. Okay, it's 87 degrees now and it's 11 o'clock. All right. I have to go get the warden from CrossFit. But enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. Let them know, because you know what? Tomorrow is not promised. All right, so for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host, Maya Akai. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal day. All right, there'll be reruns on Friday and Monday. Okay, and then I'll be back again next Wednesday here with you. I missed it. Man, call your husbands, call your wives, call your sons, call your daughters. We'll be back next Wednesday. I want a crazy show with all my peoples so I can say hi to. All right? Oh, my time has come. Guys, everyone have a phenomenal day. This is your boy, the SuperBack. Guess what? I am out.